Hello, you guys. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to go ahead and bring up Melissa, Jade, and Woofy. Hey, Melissa,
Hi.
Jade. Hey, Woofy. How
Hi,
are you?
Allie.
Hey.
I'm good. How are
Hey.
you?
I'm pretty good. Excited that you're here and excited that Woofy's here. Hey, MK Ultra.
Yes. We're here to change a skeptic's mind. Just kidding, but we're going to try a little bit.
Yeah, Woofy is a huge skeptic, and I think that's going to be fun because I'm going to show you some videos. I don't know if you brought anything, and then we'll get like your opinion versus her opinion. I think that'll be
Polar
really
opposites.
fun. Hi, Blind. Hey, West Virginia Holler Girl. Mama Chase. Hey, Shabanae. Hey, Allie. Hey, Nate. It's so weird to say
To
hello
say your
to
own name. Yeah.
yeah. Hey, Nadie. Hey, MK Ultra, which I think I said hello to you. Hey, Blind, H-Do, Punksy, Crazy Mama. Thank you guys for being here, Mama Chase.
Punk cat.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I hope Jana knows that we're doing this because she's so excited. Whenever she found out we were doing a part 2, she's
I
like, "Oh my God."
thought
Just
I saw her all the way up. Didn't I see her? I'm not sure. Someone get Jana.
yeah,
Can't miss
Jana. Hey,
it.
Punkette.
We got to
Ooh,
summon Jana. Manifest Jana,
I'll go.
guys.
I'll go summon her.
Okay,
Yay,
summon
okay.
Jana.
Punkette has the alien face and an AD too.
Yep, they come prepared.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Okay,
Nady, I knew she was here. I saw her name.
I can't wait. Okay, the first video I have to show you is about something I was going to ask you about anyways, because I don't know much
Okay.
about this, but it comes up a lot when you're talking about looking for stuff on this. What is Project Blue?
Project Blue Book.
Wait, okay, let me just pull up because the very first video, yeah, Blue Book. There you go, Project Blue Book.
I was like, I'm not talking about Project Blue, but Project Blue Book is like a code name for basically a project in the government that was aimed at the study of UFOs. So a lot of things that people don't realize is that the government had the government and the CIA had all of these undercover operations, and there was even a newer one with what's his name, Lou Elizondo, and he ran the UAP program. And he was in one of those clips that you actually sent me. Remember, we were watching that 2020 episode, like the preview for it. What was it? No, 60 Minutes. He was in there too. So Project Blue Book was just a CIA project that its sole purpose was to monitor UFOs and to detect where they're coming from and to track them and things like that.
Okay, so what is this interview? Is this fake? This interview that's all over the place, like this? What's on the screen here? That's
Yeah, I'd say it's fake. It did go around for a long time. It's interesting. They claim that this is an interview done with an extraterrestrial being, and that the extraterrestrial being is having just straight up communication and answering the officers' questions and things like that. I mean, could I say with certainty it's not real? No, but I remember when this was very, very big. And that's the thing that's hard nowadays, is that there's so much technology that you could very convincingly pull off something that looks real, sounds real, feels real, but you really don't know if it's real. But this was a little bit older, actually, from what I remember.
Well, I could tell that it was all over. That's why I wanted to ask you about it, because there's probably 100 TikToks with this video in it and YouTube videos with clips of it in it. And you see it often if you're looking for this. So I knew you probably had seen it and knew what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start with this one. And then,
it's cool. It's actually a really long interview. They probably took little bits and pieces from it.
Yeah. It's like a 2-minute video, this one. So, but I heard, like, one time when I was listening to something about this, like, I heard that they responded with like telepathy. So I'm really confused.
Well, and also a lot of people are like, well, how do they know English? Well, we're talking about interdimensional species here. Even if you're not using this video, as reference, just in general, they have the ability to communicate with us without words. But as far as I know, with the extraterrestrial species that come here with the whistleblowers, they say that they speak any language that you could imagine, or they speak directly to you and you hear it in your own mind, like your voice inside your head that you speak to yourself in. That's how they communicate. You just hear it in your own voice.
The same with like aliens. I'm gonna turn my camera on, or not aliens, I'm sorry, animals like dogs and stuff, or like we talked about last time, like birds. And interesting. Okay, so we'll just play a quick clip of this, and then the rest I'm even more excited because I think this one might be fake too, but some of these that I'm gonna show you,
interesting though. When it came out, this was really big and there was a lot of controversy over it.
Okay. Oh, awesome. Interesting.
God. Well, how the universe is created. So you think okay, illuminate us. What happens when you die? Okay, so let me get this straight. There's no death, and we all experience each other's lives, right? So you know how the universe is created.
Okay, this gets really scary because it does go into the topics of what happens when we die, which is why I can't wait for like next week or whenever we do that one.
Yeah.
It's going to be really fun. The interviewer actually sounds phony. I agree. That's kind of what I thought too. Hey, Ashton. Crazy mom said I get nightmares.
He did say something interesting, like how we're all connected. And as far as we're able to tell so far, shared consciousness is like the top contender, meaning that we're all really connected. If anybody has seen the movie Avatar, they're in Pandora, they're all connected to this big tree, right? This tree is the roots and it has the connections to each and every person. That's why you don't destroy the tree. That kind of is the universe. If you ever seen photos of the universe from like an outward perspective, it very much resembles brain activity. Like it has strands and connections all over. And so I think there's a very high possibility, along with scientists, that we're all connected and we do share consciousness. We're just not aware of it at this point. Right.
It's scary. I don't want to be. No, I want my own consciousness. I don't want
it. It's like, get out of my head.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's why we can't transcend. We can't become higher dimensional beings. It's not about one person. Oh, I'm really, like in tune with myself. I respect this. And then you have one who's, just destruction. We need to collectively come together so we can transcend and become a higher dimension.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Oh, crazy. I don't know. Like I said, I don't like it. Plus it like when you think about your loved ones. Oh, we'll talk about all that next time. Actually, I don't want to go there because I don't want to give it away because that is so fascinating to me. Like I don't know who doesn't think about what happens when you die. Where do you go? Where do your loved ones go when they die? And even like has your daughter ever asked you anything like that? Is she old enough?
Yeah. Right now, like she has religious beliefs, which is fine. I support no matter what. And I think it's okay. The way I see it is I'm giving her structure right now. But as she gets older, she can make the decisions for herself. But so right now she's kind of falling within that religious structure.
Right. So my Trenton has asked me. Now my kids are kind of the same as well because I believe in God too, but I don't like religion. I think organized religion is very toxic
Right.
and dangerous.
Agreed.
But it's iffy with kids, so I kind of just do the same. Let him think that way. Trenton's asked me, and I'll tell him, you know what? I believe that there is a creator, and I don't know much else. And I think when you get older and you have the ability to learn about other religions and different spirituality and stuff like that, then you can decide for yourself. I'm not going to brainwash my kids and tell them you have to think this way.
No,
You know,
no. You can't brainwash people into thinking something we don't know is even true. You know, like whether you call it God, Buddha, Allah, it's a higher power. It's a higher, you know, you believe in a higher power. It doesn't
Right.
really matter what you call it.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, now watch this one. I cannot wait to hear your opinion on this. Don't think there's sound, but watch this like light thing right there, okay? I'm
Okay.
going to actually zoom. It says help, please someone help explain what did my parents catch on camera at 5 a.m. But I'm going to
Yes.
make it.
Okay.
Ready? No. How did I do that?
How did their parents' house get in the sky?
No doubt. Right here.
Ah.
And they basically, I'm just going to let it play. I think it'll replay over and over. Yeah. They're like, well, I have no explanation for this. What did they catch on camera?
Huh.
Can you play it again?
It's so weird. Yeah. I'm just going to let it play till y'all see it a few times. What do you think it is, you guys? I have no freaking clue.
Wait, where did it go?
Spotlight?
Oh. So wait, did it come in from the right?
See it coming up over the house on the
Oh.
left side right there? And then it gets bigger and bigger, and then it just goes off in the sky. So
See, that
watch
looks
it. It's
more like, whoa.
about to come out over there. It's coming over the roof, smaller.
17 seconds. Oh, look how fast it's actually going if you look at the time at the bottom.
Oh, okay. Ooh, good eye, Melissa. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, it's very
Mine
quick.
keeps,
Hey, Bryn.
glitching.
Well, it's not glitching. It's going staggered because I think that's how it's like Ring doorbell or something.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know what the Ring doorbell puts the green box around it for, but it did it to the car too. See? Like
that looks
movement.
more like light. And when I say that, I'm not saying that it's not like versus a physical object, right? But I told you actually no. Okay, so there are things called light beings. So along with extraterrestrials, there's not just one species of extraterrestrials. There is a bunch of extraterrestrials, and there's also interdimensional beings, and there's also light beings. So light beings are a type of beings that only exist on like the light spectrum, like they don't have a literal physical body. And there's been photos captured of light beings. I could pull them up and show you. And so this could be, if anything, if it is legit and unexplainable, I would think that it would be something along that spectrum, something with a light spectrum.
Okay.
That's too big to be an orb, K-Braze. That's big. That's a big orb.
All right, here. You know what? I bet it's echoing like crazy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna leave it muted,
actually,
and
it
next
wasn't.
time I'll mute.
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, it wasn't echoing.
I see that's
no.
Photoshop.
Let me get my fucking headphones. Actually,
See, you say it's photoshopped, Wolfie. Yet, like, I have videos that I could pull up of these pilots speaking out, and they say that almost every day they would experience craft flying next to them. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean extraterrestrial species. That it can be our own craft at the same time, but you'll really know the difference because, again, extraterrestrial craft are seamless. Like you can't tell doors, you can't tell any signs of propulsion. But also they do maneuvers that defy our laws of physics. So things like this, so far I didn't see anything that would be so far out of the realm of our laws of physics. But when you see a craft going at a high rate of speed and all of a sudden doing spins or like a cut down angle at, you know, speeds that we can't do, that's when I'm more inclined to believe it's not of this earth. There's been a few things caught on airplanes. Hey Meatfoot, hey Rena.
There's another one that I was just typing to them in the chat. Sorry, I had got a phone call from Bentley's dad while you were talking too. There's another one on an airplane that I wanted to show you as well. But it has it has jets flying behind it. I think I'm with you, Wolfie. I think some are Photoshop. However, I don't know about all of them. I think some of them are
not
real.
all.
This though, you see how the screen did that special effect when that thing came? Why did it do that? Is that
I'm not sure.
The water droplet thing? Okay, so let me go to this next one. Oh, this is interesting.
See that
I have this one on my list too. Wait, did Nay send this to you? I think Nay sent this to me.
Where are the clouds?
No, she didn't. But
you
got it yourself.
That's good. I'm glad you have it because what the hell? There's a big shadow, but no clouds. Yeah, I actually had this on our one last time.
Yeah, so this, you guys, you see there's a massive shadow on that mountain, yet there's not a single cloud in the sky. And so a lot of this extraterrestrial technology has the ability to not be visible. It blends in. So it's there. It doesn't just disappear. Like if you're flying, if you're a bird would fly right into it and just, fall down. But it has the ability to, basically it's a mirror. So the outside of its material will just be reflective. And so if it's just a blue sky, it's going to reflect the blue sky and you wouldn't really see that it's there.
Wow, it's literal magic. It's
it's science.
I don't know. It's crazy.
It's really cool.
This one, it is really cool. I don't know what that is there, but
that looks like an entrance on the side.
Let's go to. Yeah, it was like an entrance. Yeah, I don't know why I even saved it. Oh, okay. This one has sound, so this guy here, let me let him tell you.
Videos exposing the world's first ever seen alien went viral. I have been seeing government vehicles outside my home. A couple weeks ago, I even saw a man investigating my property. Did he show up to delete the only true evidence that aliens might actually be living among us? Save and share this video in case the government permanently takes it away.
Have you ever seen that footage or that video,
No.
that picture of the thing on the beach?
Yeah.
It does look a little silly. It does look like a little silly.
So do you think that it's...
That's why I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
Can you press play again so I could see the body? Because the play button was right over the body.
Yes.
It looks like one of those deflated
and
dancing things outside of the auto shops.
Hey, LFT. Well, look, I'm thinking all these cops behind it and the crime scene tape. If it's not real, well, maybe it's a movie or something like that. But
yeah, that's possible.
Here, I'm going to play it again.
Permanently takes it away. From the moment my videos exposing the world's first ever seen alien went viral.
It's not the world's first ever seen alien, just saying.
I have been seeing outside my home. A couple weeks ago, and saw a man investigating my property. Did he show up to delete the only true evidence that aliens might actually be living among us? Save and share this video in case the government permanently takes it away. From the moment my videos exposing the world's first ever seen alien went.
This is what's funny to me, is if you listen to what he's saying, He's saying how this is, the first time the world is seeing aliens and the government's going to take it away. Again, did I not show you guys the last time we were here that the government has already admitted, maybe not the American government. The American government has admitted to UAPs and UFOs, and I'll pull up the clips once Allie's done, but we have, the former Prime Minister of Defense admitting that we're in contact with at least 4 different extraterrestrial species. I have a bunch of videos of ex-officials speaking out saying, oh, hold on, wait, my audio. Okay, let me know if that's better, Meatfoot. But
Better.
thanks. So they've already come out and admitted that we are in communication with these extraterrestrial species. These extraterrestrial species have been here and visited for thousands of years, but really we have been in agreement with them, with our president and our high officials since the 50s. So like, it's amazing how people still say, hurry up, like they want to get, they've already come out and admitted it, but they just kind of slowly leak it out and they trickle it out. It's partial disclosure. They just trickle little information out and it just blends into where people don't even realize what they're admitting to and how massive it is.
It's crazy. It really is. Well, do you think that the government would like really do that? Like if somebody's releasing videos on, let's say,
They
just
used to.
for instance, TikTok, and they're okay. I would think that they would too. That's why I was asking.
Not so much today. Not in that sense. You would have had to have a very intimate experience for them to intervene. But in the day, I'm sure you've heard of the Men in Black. The Men in Black, if you had experienced a UFO sighting or an abduction or something along those lines, you tended to be visited by the Men in Black, which is a set of what appears to be like identical men. So it'll be, have you ever seen the footage of the Men in Black caught on camera?
Did you do a live about it?
Yeah. But Allie, have you seen
She
that
did a
footage?
long time ago. And 2 bald men.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
what you showed. I seen some that you showed of
Mhm.
like 2 men going in. Do we have a delay?
I think
Yes,
so, a little bit.
of the hotel.
Yes. And so there's crazy stories out there about the Men in Black and how I do not believe the Men in Black are even human, or at least maybe partial human. I think they're droids themselves. They say that they have like no eyebrows, ruby red lips, completely pale skin in these suits, but they're talking to them. They talk in like a robotic type voice. Point is that they usually come, confiscate whatever type of footage or experience you had, and left the person feeling in a way where they were threatened. Basically, they knew not to speak out, not to say anything. Or there are other times where the people have vanished and never heard from again.
Yes. And yes, Sylvie, in a lobby was one that she showed that I seen, right? In a hotel lobby.
Yes.
It is crazy. It's very crazy. Okay, let me go to my next one so we can get to yours. Oh, this is really weird. So this says it's basically footage shows missing woman was possibly abducted by extraterrestrials. Now, if you like are skeptical after you watch it, then what? I need an answer of what the hell happened here. So here, let's see.
Sorry. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, it just vanished so quickly. Sorry. Ooh.
So what
caught their
happened?
attention?
I don't know.
See, It's okay. So the husband has filed a missing. So she's been missing. Sorry, it's not funny. It's not funny. I'm laughing because it's just so dramatic. Like she's been missing since then. Oh my God.
Yes. And can you imagine sitting outside with your husband and you just vanish into thin air?
You're just sitting on a bench and poof.
Well, my question is, why is there a camera pointing at a bench like that anyway?
Well, there's a lot of footage that just records outside.
I get that, but that just seemed awfully convenient. And then it
And it was
super.
well, it wasn't very clear footage. I mean,
yeah.
so it could be like from far away and then or something. Let me see.
It's hard because I believe these things happen all the time. I do. Just seeing it like that makes it seem so silly. But a good portion of abductions, and oh my God, if anybody, it's on Amazon Prime. This guy has spoken out, who has a full, now you have to have an open mind to watch this documentary, but he has a full story of being abducted and having a baby with an extraterrestrial species. He was in love with this extraterrestrial species, but he explained it's actually, I'll find the name of it. It's a really, really interesting. He has portraits and paintings of this species, like everything. But because they want to take extraterrestrial species and the human species, and they want to combine them and make interdimensional babies. I don't know. Which is exactly what we would do if we had aliens. Eventually, we would do that exact thing if we were the superior race. But
yeah,
I think things like this happen all the time. But a lot of times, these abduction guys are our own government. And the Disclosure Project has spoken out about that a lot, that not only do we plant this false narrative to imitate abductions, but we're doing our own experiments. So if it is aliens, that's exactly how I'd imagine it, though. Just you're there and then poof, it's not getting dragged away. It's literally getting sucked through like space and time. You're just gone. But I don't know if it's true.
Oh my God.
Like, I don't know if that video is real, but I think it happens. Yes. No, she's really
That's
missing.
freaking scary.
She's really missing. I'm inclined to believe she's somewhere. I don't know where, though.
I'm inclined to believe she's somewhere. Well, wait till you see this one. Because this one's the same kind of weird. Jana said we're scaring her wife. You guys are scaring
sorry.
Freaking out my wife. Donna, you're not going to just disappear and get sucked into space and time.
Yeah, don't get sucked into a vortex, please. But I want to know, what were they looking at? Like, they both turned at the same time and then
I know.
And they're just sitting. It's not a bench. It's lawn chairs. It looks like
lawn chairs.
That wasn't a bench.
But it just so happens that a camera's pointing right at those lawn chairs.
I thought it was on a public street.
No.
Oh, whatever.
Oh, Sylvie, I've got some videos of a child who claims to be an alien, a starseed or whatever. I'm going to show you those in a sec. But
yes.
Okay.
Show it to me, Allie.
This one is really, really good. It's interesting. I want you to be able to see the video.
Your laugh.
Is causing people to freak out. In 2010, a family from England was growing increasingly concerned for their mother's mental well-being. She said she had memories of an alien abduction and they basically thought she was crazy. So to humor her, they set up a camera in their bedroom, and what they found is quite shocking. After a few nights of things seeming normal, their mother woke up claiming to have had another experience. So they checked the cameras. You can see the mother here resting in the sheet, and what happens in a few moments is pretty unexplainable. It gets even weirder. This happened over the course of a few minutes, so I've sped up the video. This footage is causing people to freak out. In 2010, a family from England was growing increasingly...
Wait, did she just freak out? It jumps a little bit. So is she just freaking out underneath the blankets, or is there something I'm not seeing?
She like disappears completely. and then
yeah.
like the
She
blanket
did go
goes
flat at
completely
first.
flat. Yeah, and then she like all of a sudden, boom! Like, see right there, boom! No, it's
Yeah.
completely flat, and there's nothing under there. And then like he speeds it up, but you can see her reappear there.
He's like, holy shit!
Her husband's like, "Hey, honey," rolls over and puts his arm around her, but
She just got yeeted back into this dimension.
yeeted back into this dimension. Tisha, Melissa has a good laugh. She does.
She just went
LSD.
flat, but when she returned, her legs are flaring. Oh,
They're
my
like
God.
way up in the air. Look, she's like 2 feet off the bed when she returns. She's flat here. And then look at her. Boom.
She just
Like-
yeeted. She just got yeeted, like thrown back in this dimension. These aliens were like, we don't want this one. But that's how I imagine it. Listen, the people, because that's a whole live in itself, abductees stories, okay? And so all I try to do is, like, when watching these videos, base it off of what I take as truth by listening to these people. And they say a lot, most time it happens when you're sleeping, but they erase your memory. So it comes back and you need like those deep regressions, like the therapy going in and having, you know, like your memories brought back up. But a lot of times they say a portal will legit just open up in the wall, which I believe, because if you understand space-time and how it can bend, and I did that demonstration for you, you're jumping through portals. So basically a portal will open up and they'll just be taken and then they'll be returned, and it always happens in their bed. So even though this video is funny because she disappears, that is how I imagine it. That's exactly how I do imagine it.
You should play that video.
That's freaking scary.
Which
I
video?
think that's
The
real.
one
I'm gonna
where
play
you
it, but I want
show it.
Oh, yes, but Aunt Melissa has a question for you.
A couple of guys were streaming, and one of the camera
Okay,
for a guy
sure.
goes off, and when it comes back, there's an alien. I don't think so. MK, can you send it to me? But I've seen the video of it's this guy working at a factory or something where they have a bunch of CCTV cameras around, and all of a sudden, I'll find it. There's a huge flash of light, and it has the camera going at the timer going at the bottom. There's a huge flash of light, and boom, he disappears. There's nothing there. And then you watch the camera, time passes, and all of a sudden, boom, he just appears again. And when he appears again, he's violently throwing up and he's all disoriented. That I'm inclined to believe, because listen, getting yeeted through space-time, it's a little nauseating if you don't take, sleep medication. But I'll find that video. It's really interesting.
Getting yeeted through space if you don't take some nausine or
Yeah, eat something for your stomach so you don't get car sick.
By the way, Jana, this is what I was talking about that I've got. It's called canna syrup. And see?
What's that?
And it's watermelon flavored.
Ooh.
It's just like edibles, but a liquid, But
Yee, so it's like medicine.
I just took some of that.
Does it
Yeah.
actually taste like watermelon?
Good
though?
medicine.
You need to unplug.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't
unplug.
actually taste too nasty. I want it, Allie.
Is that better?
Yeah. Well,
I can
maybe not.
hold on. I can plug it back.
No, you're still crackling.
in. Okay, hold on.
Nadie said you got to stop saying you did or she's going to pee her pants. I just
You
drink
should
it
play
straight, but you
Melissa's
just take like
demonstration. Can we see Melissa's
She-
demonstration?
I did that last time.
I
You
didn't
fell
see it.
asleep though.
Yeah, she did it last time.
I
But
always fall
also,
asleep.
I have that video you sent me. Let me play through these TikToks really fast, Melissa. I was gonna
Yeah.
switch and let her play whatever.
Uh-oh.
What the heck?
Oh, there she go.
Did you do that?
You yeeted me. I'm back.
Did I do that or did you?
You were yeeted. You were yeeted.
I got yeeted through space time. I have so many stories to tell you.
How was it?
Dude, I aged 37 years. I was gone for so long.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Kate Ray said she disappeared and came back just like that.
I was that old woman flaring my legs when you added me back to the stream. I was like, whoa.
My cheeks hurt. All of a sudden, I hear you scream, like you said, "Yay!" And then, like, I looked down, I looked back up, and you were backstage.
I got yeeted, yo.
Ross said, "I listened to you guys laughing. I end up laughing. I accidentally waxed half my eyebrows off." Oh no,
I'm
Ross.
so sorry. Oh my god.
H2O, that's awesome. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna play this one now. I don't remember off the top of my head what it was. I think this is like I think this one is fake. This one is fighter jets flying behind just here, I think.
Trying to stop a war. By doing this, the aliens are preventing the end of the world. Why is there so many UFO? It's because aliens are us from the future, and they are just trying to stop a war. By doing this, the aliens are preventing the end of the world.
Remember, we watched that one last time where it goes in the water, but I thought that was an interesting thought. That's the only reason I saved that one. Because what if it's true? You never know. We do like to fight each other.
Pilots. Yeah. We have this technology. Do not be mistaken. We've just reverse engineered it. That simple as that. So a lot of times, more often than not, it's our own technology. And yes, we're reverse engineering it. So it's going to look like extraterrestrial crafts, or how we imagine extraterrestrial crafts to be. Because it is. It's their broken down, abandoned ships, that we're like, all right, let me tinker with this and figure it out. But if it's flying that low at that slow of a speed, escorted, yeah, I would imagine it being our own technology.
It's interesting. Who is the one? It was Bob Lazar who came out and basically said that they do the reverse engineering and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so he worked at Area 51 before it was blown up, and he explained, and that's why it was interesting when you showed that video of the opening on the side of the mountain. That's exactly how Bob Lazar described it. So he said, listen, and if you guys don't realize this by now, you should. Everything is underground. There are huge things going on underneath the Earth's surface. That's where all the funny business is. And so he explained that you would go out to Area 51 and literally the side of the mountain would open up. That's how he would get into the area to where it would take him down to his base. And he worked in these compartmentalized programs. So all he knew was what his job was. He did not know what the other person's job was. And his job on these crafts, he doesn't know where the crafts are from, when, because again, it's a need to know basis. You only know what your job is to do. And his job was to find out the form of propulsion. There is no obvious signs of propulsion on these crafts. No gas, no oil, no engines. And that is why he was able to come out and talk about element 115, the God particle. It was a particle that was not yet added to the periodic table. And he explained that it's an anti-gravity particle. Whatever these crafts use, it was based on element 115, which was able to manipulate gravity, meaning if you throw a tennis ball up, it's going to come down, right? Well, with element 115, you could throw that tennis ball up and it'll stay midair. And so it's learning how to manipulate gravity around you. And that's what Bob Lazar did. And then they discredited him. They wiped his history. And later on, element 115 is added to the periodic table. It's exactly what he said it was.
Wow, that is crazy. Bryn says, have you heard of the mantle blobs? There is some effed up shit going on in the middle of the earth. Mantle blobs. I've never heard of that.
It's between the Earth's crust and core.
I know where the mantle's at, but
yeah, I don't know too much about it, Bryn. You'll have to tell me about it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, let me see what else. Because I have a couple of this kid who says she's an alien. And then I have a couple. It's really interesting. Her mom. Here, let me play this one first. This is like a guy explaining the different kinds, I guess, of species. How do they know this? You'll have to tell me after you watch it.
Yeah, I'll tell you after.
Okay. Or if you want to now. I just didn't know if you would know exactly what I was talking about. That's why I said that. I'm like, maybe she won't know exactly what I mean, but
sometimes with the delay, I'm nervous to start speaking because then I feel bad a second later, like I interrupt. But with the species,
I know,
it's
me too.
because okay, so we've had they've been around for a very long time. But we've had open communication and agreements with them since the 1950s, possibly earlier. And so I told you there's a galactic federation, the same way that we all come together and basically two people from each country represent, and we have these meetings. That's like that on a galactic level. And we are low on the totem pole. And so we know at least of the extraterrestrial species that we have had communication with. And then from their knowledge and what they've shared with us, we know about the rest. But there are people, and they describe there are huge, they're called like the praying mantis. So they look like a massive 6-foot praying mantis. There are the blue, what are they called? The blue.
Yes, I heard it.
Avians.
Something with avia.
The blue avians. And they're like a huge bird, like a beautiful peacock, but their skin is fluorescent blue. Then we have the typical grays.
The kid is.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the typical grays. Yeah. The small little dark grays, guys, that have like those big, huge bug eyes and the arms are much longer. Those are droids. Now, there are tall grays, which are the actual species, and that's like the typical alien. We always have the alien faces to depict it. Those are the actual species. But the same way that if we make our way to a new planet, are we going to send our people, or are we going to send a bunch of rovers and droids, right? We'd send a bunch of rovers and droids to test it out. So those small little grays are actually droids. They're just there to do the tall grays work. And yeah, there are ones like the Nordics,
Anunnaki,
the Anunnaki, and they look exactly like human, just more beautiful. Like they're all blonde with fair skin. You would not know that they were aliens walking among us. They look very similar to us.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, here we go. This is going to kind of go into that.
People talk about the Anunnaki, people describe the Anunnaki, and they even have different names. But what you may not know, that these are actually extraterrestrials. And we would say that each of those gods are not single individuals, but they're collectives. They're races of beings. And there's actually, each one of those gods is a different collective, a different race of Anunnaki. They're actually not pure Anunnaki. And there's a difference because we're going to have the actual Anunnaki, their DNA gets stolen and made their own hybrids. So there's many DNA templates of Anunnaki that are very unique, each one, such as Marduk, which comes from an Anunnaki plus an Omicron, and actually explain them from a multidimensional perspective. Because you cannot understand aliens, God, or gods. You cannot understand Anunnaki unless you understand a little bit about the dimensions. Reality is not just one level, it's many, okay? Not just heaven and hell and earth. There's 15 levels of reality, because you understand that these beings are not from our level of reality, not just a different planet. People talk about the Anunnaki, people describe the Anunnaki, and they even have different names. But what you may not know, that these are...
I want to watch his videos. He has a YouTube channel. Brent could come up anytime. Okay, I will.
Because the Anunnaki, as far as my research has shown, is are here to help us. They are very good beings that they help guide us, and they have given us technology, but they're not going to continue giving us technology because we should not be still using fossil fuels. So basically, they're giving us the knowledge, right, to help our planet. Fossil fuels is killing our planet. But instead of utilizing it, we are still in that low dimensional, low vibrational field and mindset that we're focused on money. So this is the problem with humans, is that we're at war with each other. We're destroying each other. We're focused on big pharma and fossil fuels that we should not still be using. And so they're not going to give us any more knowledge to technology until we start to do the right thing. Because if we don't care enough about our own planet, how are we supposed to transcend and go intergalactically or, you know, throughout the galaxy when we're destroying ourselves? They're not going to let us have that type of power.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But the
That's
Anunnaki
crazy.
are
She kind of,
beautiful beings.
she almost looks like she could be one of those, but she says that she's one of those avian things, which I don't know how I'm going to play 2 of her videos. I don't think they're back to back. But I want to say something. Happy Hippie says, I hate this place. I've never felt like I belong here. No, I'm not an alien, but I don't fit in. And Pointer Lover said, I feel the same way. And I just want to say, you guys, like, I've had a lot of my life where I felt like that too. Like, I just felt like I was different. I was not like normal people. Like, that's how I kind of made sense of my addiction at times and stuff like that. So you are not alone. I think we all go through times where we just don't feel like everybody else, and maybe like something's wrong with us or we're not good enough or something like that. That is not the case at all. It's a mindset that you get into. Okay, let me see here. I'll let you listen to this little girl.
Mm-hmm. And then I'll show you the Russian boy from Mars, because this, have you seen that?
Yes. No, but I want to see it because I love this.
I'm
like this
of it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, we should do one on reincarnation, actually, because there's a lot of kids with stories like that. That's very interesting.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I'm going to play it.
So, Seven, what's the first memory you have of your aliens?
The first memory I had of my aliens?
Yeah.
My first memory was that I get to have lots of fun and help people that were blind.
Where did you do that at?
Planet Mars.
Oh, you went to Mars?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what did you do there?
I did lots of work to help them not be blind anymore.
Were they humans that were blind or aliens?
Aliens, but I could also do it on humans. I know you guys might not believe me about that aliens are real and how I'm talking about aliens, but it's okay. Soon you'll figure out why I'm talking about how that's real, because they actually are real, but it's okay. You're gonna find out how they're real sometime in life. And thank you guys so much for supporting me, and like, you support me a lot, so thank you so much for doing.
She's cute, but there's another one where she talks more about
cute.
how they do surgery and what she is and what their skin looks like and that kind of stuff. But
okay, that's what I'd be more interested in, because even though as cute as she is, that's something that could have been easily rehearsed. That's why I want to see the other video. Show me the other video.
Okay, I'm
this
close
one.
to it. So you've seen this. Is this real? Because there's a nurse in the comments. Go ahead.
That's a very famous autopsy on the alien. Now they've tried to come out and debunk it, but again, you can't even trust the debunking, because even if it was real, they would try to discredit it. But this was a huge video that went around, and it looks really credible in a lot of aspects, given just the background. If you like focus less on the alien and focus less on the setting itself, everything looks accurate to what it would be experimenting
and look at
on an extraterrestrial.
this lady, she says, I always assumed this was fake, but not sure now. After watching it 50 times, it actually looks more legit. As an RN, I've assisted in many operations, so she's kind of looking at the background too, I think. Oh my God, that's scary. Because that does not look like like the eyes freak me out. I can't. How many toes does he have? 1, 2, there's 6 toes. Wow. Yeah, Melissa Woofy, I don't know why you said it in chat and not up here, but she said this is funny. Oh, well, I believe her. How could I not? She's so cute. Hey, headphones.
Yeah, I believe anything she says.
She's cute.
Okay, let's see, because this was weird because there was not just like 2, there was 3 clouds, like, or whatever, like that. So
See, they're not clouds. Those are objects taking up the space. Remember I told you how they could blend in, but if a bird hit into it, it would just poof. Like, that's because there is matter there. There's matter. It's just displacing the rest because it's taking up the space.
Wow, that's interesting. Oh my God. Okay, this right here, I took a screenshot on my phone and zoomed in on it. And I swear to God, it's not as clear as what he shows, but it actually is. I'm going to, I could pull up my Facebook and send it to myself to show you the screenshot I took. But it's like somebody's footage of inside of a UFO. Okay, let me just play it really quick because it's like 10 seconds or 30 seconds on. Okay.
Inside UFO. This UFO footage was filmed in Turkey in 2008. If you zoom in on the craft, you will notice something terrifying. This still is taken from the video you just watched. Can you see the aliens? This could possibly be the best footage of extraterrestrials ever filmed. Is this real? Are they really here? Real aliens filmed inside UFO.
Why'd you chuckle, Wolfie?
I'm gonna have to send this to you on the phone because, like, on the computer now it just looks blurry. But on the phone, you can actually see the shape of like look right here. You see the gray?
Yeah.
Like my mouse is going around the head and the shoulders. On the phone, it's even more clear. That truly is what's in that video. If you screenshot it and zoom in, that's what I did, and that's what it is.
And a couple of people who, you know, were abductees or have experienced craft says that a few of them said that these would be perfect crafts, and right in the front it would basically be a window where you can see all of the beings just standing in front, and that's exactly what it reminded me of. And that I could, like, obviously I'd want to try to find the origin of the actual video, but if the video everything looks good, that is something I'd be inclined to believe could be legit. Yes.
That's so well, I'm going to send you that so you can, I know, so you can look at it later. I'm going to send it to you, but MK Ultra says that's legit. So Jana said some of this stuff, I think if it was real, wouldn't it go viral? These actually have gone viral. Like a lot. So one video we just looked at had 999,000 likes. That's likes. That means it was viewed like 100 million times. This one has 20,000, but yeah.
The short answer, Jana, is no, because we're not living in the time period that it was even 20 years ago. If 20 to 30 years ago this came out, it would blow up. We live in the day of age where everybody is desensitized to this type of stuff. And because there is so much high quality fake stuff out there, something like that, it's like the government is able to have it so easy, because in the past they would have to discredit the person, not so much the footage. Now, given that all this misinformation and all this fake stuff runs rampant, they really don't have to do anything. And this is what I mean. You would think not only that would go viral, right? But given that people who held high positions come out and speak that we are in communication with extraterrestrial species and that we've been visited, don't you think that would make mainstream media news too? But it doesn't, for a reason. They're just trying to have it trickle out.
Yeah, that's so true. And they distract us with stuff. And Nadine said that it wouldn't let her send you certain things. Well, that's funny because me and Melissa had a group back in the day for a case that I was working on. Bianca, remember Melissa?
Yep.
And the crime scene photos were on Google. And when I found them and sent them to Melissa, like within an hour, they were gone. Facebook just removed them. They didn't say anything. They didn't nothing. Yeah. So they're actually really legit
Monitor.
looking in your messenger.
Yep.
It's crazy. And now here's something. I don't even want to play the video because it's basically I've got it paused in a place where I can explain and just ask you. But it's on the dollar bill. They say if you change the contrast, that's creepy. All he did was change the contrast.
So there's something, I forgot the name of it, but basically they are allowed to deceive us. They're allowed to lie to us, but the deal is that they have to leak out a little bit of information where they're doing it in our faces, like they're mocking us. The same way if you fold the dollar bill up, you could see the towers burning, right? From $1 to $5 to $20. Have you seen that? You see the towers literally going down and up in smoke. So it shows you that everything is already predetermined. They know exactly what's happening, what's going to happen, and they mock us because they're putting it right in front of our faces, and we're all just too distracted and blind and ignorant to pay attention.
That's so messed up. But you know what? That looks like a third eye too. Like if you look at it, that what's in the center of the forehead, which they also, I believe, try to keep us from even realizing is a thing. And you know, with the fluoride in the water, and they used to give kids fluoride tablets in preschool back in the day, like in the 50s and stuff. It's crazy.
We're taught from day
let's
one
go
to
the
suppress our
next one.
abilities.
Exactly. And because everyone has abilities, right? Like it's to a certain extent, psychic abilities to connect like that with other people and other living things, but you just have to know they're there and be able to quiet your mind enough to work on them, which is like impossible. This says it's an alien encounter from 96, and then I want to get to yours, so I'm just going to skip it for now, but this was kind of interesting. This is another, like, okay, if you want to see it, I'll show you. It says it's from 1996, Jonathan Reed Allen, an alien encounter, but I could hardly see it on my phone. Maybe on the, because I just, let me see if you see it. Like, I had to ask. I'm like, what the heck? I asked Bentley's dad. I'm like, he's like, it's an alien. You don't freaking see it. Maybe my eyes are bad.
Well, it looks small, like the one that I pulled up. Oh. See, they have caught the little tiny beings, and they even have an alien body in the Roswell Crash Museum. Do you know that?
No.
And it's very, very tiny.
Like how tiny?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Ooh. It looks like a very small head in a suit. Is that its head?
I think so. That's what I mean. I can't really see.
Where's the face?
Looks like a potato.
It looks like a thumb.
Where is the eyes or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't see. That's what I was saying. Like it's like all blurred out, kind of like. Whoa! Is that the mouth? Oh, I see. That is freaking creepy. On the computer, I could see it so much more. Oh my God! When he opened the mouth and the eyes, I see the eyes. They're like slanted, like the freaking emoji.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Oh my God! See when he has his eyes closed, you can't even see it. That is so scary.
Yeah. Ugh. And I know there's a species that does not have any hair or anything. Like that's how they're described.
Let me rewind it like 10 seconds and see if he made any noise.
See, I like the older footage because it's much harder to fake it back then. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Who's breathing?
I guess the guy filming.
That's creepy. The guy filming's
Uh-huh.
creepier than the alien.
Wait, what is he doing?
Is that its head guts?
Yep. It's bleeding. Look at that. Like, look in the foil.
Yep.
And on his glove.
I need you to send me this video.
So, Doctor, when did you hear that scream?
Well, after a few hours had gone by and I had called Gary back, and he had calmed me down from crawling practically around the ceiling, we both went out to look again. And I figured,
what?
you know.
No, I just think that there's a good chance that could be legit.
Opened the freezer.
Oh, wow.
So that I could know that I
Oh.
was not.
Look how it's wrapped up in foil. Oh my God, that is so scary, you guys. I just don't even. Oh,
You need to send me that. I gotta
I
zoom up
will.
real close and look.
Okay.
I need to
So you'll
see what
spend
kind
like
of head
2
guts he
hours
has.
watching it.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could clean that up and make the footage better.
Yeah. Well, I want to start to look into it, and I'm gonna try to see if anybody has tried to debunk it yet and get a bit more information on it.
Okay, so see, Jana, this one here has 222 likes. So there's a lot of views. Now, this one is opinions.
Alien species, the Apunians. They are from Alpha Centauri. They were first documented by 4 Peruvian contactees in the 1950s. They are a Nordic-looking race, very attractive, basically like us humans. They follow the cosmic law of one. They claim that there is 1,019,000 civilizations in the universe.
Wow.
They work to transform negative energies and embrace species and consider themselves brothers and sisters to all. They have been focusing their attention on helping the poor regions in Peru. Their technology allows themselves to levitate by wearing special belts and wristbands. They can contact other worlds by the use of time bubbles. They are telepathic and can heal people with their thoughts.
Wow. Very cool.
Absolutely believe it. 100%.
Oh, now have you ever seen this?
Let's see.
This kind of freaks me out a little bit. Okay.
Is that Antarctica?
On Google Maps.
Antarctica.
Ooh, that's cool alibi.
Oh man, it's okay. There it goes.
Did it freeze on you?
Yeah, but it's good now.
Okay. Look in the crack. Oh my God. Oh, so hard to see on here, but on their phone, like you can see eyes, like those slanted eyes, and like a head,
Ooh.
like there's it's hiding in the crack. You can see it if it's hard on the computer to see as
Yeah.
much because I guess it's spread out. I'll send that to you on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, there's actually a couple like that that are quite interesting things that people find on Google Maps.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I don't know how. This says UFO sighting in case I go missing. Oh, it was this group of lights. See all those lights flying together?
Mm-hmm. In formation.
Mm-hmm. I think we're almost to the end of this. In case I
these
go
are super
missing, he
interesting.
said. Okay, this one is the other one with the girl. Now, this one was super interesting to me because she talks about what she is, their skin, and like what they like some of their abilities, kind of. It's TikTok though. What do you
Right.
mean, Slink?
Oh, what?
Dave. He said it's TikTok though. Okay. Sorry.
What kind of alien or ET are you?
A blue avian.
Oh, blue
When
avian.
do they come visit you?
Like at probably like 3 in the morning, I think.
Oh, do you go anywhere?
Yes, I go to really important.
What do you do on your planet? What's your job?
My job is to just like have the stuff ready and if people are hurt, that's my job to help them. And sometimes I have to go in our office and get the tools to do a different kind of surgery. It's not like where you cut them open. It's like a different kind of surgery, just where you look through their skin to see like this, but you don't cut them open at all, and you don't even use any tools. You just look around their skin because our skin is like bluish clearish.
So she said that, Allie, I'm gonna, I promise as soon as the live ends. And
I told you.
And thank
like
you
a
for
peacock.
yes, thank you for reminding me. Yes, sorry, our delay is so stupid. And thank you for reminding me, Allie. I definitely will not forget. No, it's not your fault. It's probably me, and I don't know if I would leave and come back in if it would get better. But did you hear? She said they do surgery. But she's basically saying, yeah, they heal each other without cutting each other open. She said our skin is clearish blue and we just like do surgery, but just like with our eyes, with like looking like that's weird.
I told you that you're able, I told you this last time, that you're able to heal with certain frequencies. So we do not need to be, this is big pharma again, and the fossil fuel industry. They will not allow that to pass up because we're too in that low vibrational mindset where we just want money and power. Meanwhile, the answers are so much bigger than that. It's so much bigger than that. But yeah, she's explaining how basically that you would be able to analyze and scan one's body and then sync your body up to a certain frequency, which then goes through the ill person's frequency and being able to heal them. And I absolutely 100% believe that.
I believe it too. And it's just, it's crazy. And it's so disgusting the way that our world revolves. It both comes down to money, period. Yep. It's gross. Okay, let me see. I don't think we have many left.
Breaking astronomy news. NASA has just confirmed the existence of
This is actually just came out on January 22nd. So I threw it in here because it was very interesting.
Another potentially habitable planet that is almost exactly the size of Earth. The planet named TOI 700e was discovered by the Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, a space telescope designed to hunt for Earth-like planets within our galaxy. TOI 700e is currently orbiting around a small red dwarf star located just 100 light-years from Earth. This planet's orbital path falls within the Goldilocks zone, the region around a star where conditions are just right for liquid water to exist and potentially for life to thrive. As we continue to discover planet after planet, the possibility of finding intelligent life will only increase.
Very
Awesome.
cool.
So cool.
Oh, listen to this. This is not, it's like a minute long, but the reptilians. Now, Psychic Reverend Donna.
Police say Gentry told them he
Have you-
tried to kill his
have you
father
ever
because they,
listened
quote,
to-
shape.
Oh, shit. Have you ever listened to Psychic Reverend Donna's interview with a reptilian psychic reading?
No.
She has one up there, and it's about 20 minutes long, and it's very much along the lines of what you're saying about the taking care of the planet and us destroying our planet and stuff like that. She says that it came in her house. She can communicate with them just like spirits, basically. And you got to go listen to it. It is insane.
I'll listen to it after we get off. But yeah, reptilians.
Jana said I've listened to it twice. Yeah.
Reptilians have been here. They've actually walked Earth before we did. And they are of the low vibrational energy, and that they can't transcend the fourth dimension. They'll always be four-dimensional beings, because in order to transcend, you need to, again, it's light, as cliche as it is, because it's like with Hollywood, right? It's like that light versus dark, evil versus good, yet it all really does come down to that. And it's as simple as that. You know, they mock it, so we minimize it, right? And we make a joke out of it, but no, it's good versus evil. And the reptilian race is like of a low vibrational, and they want to keep us distracted and not have higher consciousness, and they want us to be at war because they're able to feed and get their power when it's of that low vibrational field.
That's scary. I didn't
You don't
know
want to
that
go near a
about them.
reptilian. Yeah, reptilians are shapeshifters.
Okay, well, listen to this then. That's quite interesting when you hear it's only 15 seconds.
Say Gentry told them he tried to kill Hitler because a, quote, shape-shifting reptile had taken over. Isaiah Gentry is accused of hitting his dad in the head with a statue before stabbing him 20 times with a steak knife.
And he didn't die.
Wow.
He said his dad turned into a shape-shifting reptile, and he hit him in the head with a statue and stabbed him 20 times, and he didn't die.
I believe it.
Oh, alien.
Okay, now this I had to put here to challenge you. I can't wait to hear what you think about it. I actually didn't even listen to the full thing. I just saw the title in the first like 10 seconds, and I was like, oh, we got to listen to this. I'm almost at the end of my list, though. So
No alien life
Okay.
form has ever or will ever get to this planet. Now, unless they have faster than light travel, it's not going to happen.
Right.
Because this is the problem. The nearest star to our star, which is called Sol, is called Proxima Centauri. Proxima meaning it's the closest star. It is 4.1 light years away, which is over 24 trillion with a T miles away. At
Which
the
you've
speed
said
of
this.
light, it would take 4.1 years to get there. We can't even go 1% the speed of light. Let's just say by some miracle, we end up like developing, like on the show The Expanse, an Epstein drive that lets us go 1% the speed of light. Now it's only 400 years for us to get to the nearest star.
Right.
And the likelihood of there being life near the nearest star is like, 1 in 10,000. So it's pretty more than 100,000. There is life. There are aliens. There are living creatures on other planets. They're just so they're just so astronomically far away from us. We're just not going to get there. We're not going to see them. No.
So he believes in aliens, but he doesn't believe they've ever been on Earth.
So everything he's saying is correct. So like, even if this is what I tried saying last time, even if we had the ability to travel at the speed of light, which is the fastest known thing in this universe, we would not have the lifespan to even make that distance. But he's leaving out the element that space is a fabric and it is bendable. and you are able to bend space-time. Now, I can't say with 100% certainty that they've achieved that, but with all the whistleblowers and everyone that's come out, aliens have and extraterrestrials have had a presence on Earth for thousands of years, which means, and that's why I always say this is the coolest part, is if they are here, that means that they have the ability to jump through space and time. They are not traveling here in one line at the speed of light, just going across the universe. No, they're jumping. They're jumping here. And
Right.
that's what's so insane.
It's crazy. I know, it is. Okay, let's see.
Oh my god, I'm so glad I'm recording this. Oh, no chance. Let me show you some real speed. Oh my god, that's like an F-35. Oh, it's almost catching up.
That one has 500,000 likes. Do you think it's fake?
I don't know. Again, like when you say fake, are we talking about extraterrestrial or man-made, or like just not real
Edited?
at all?
Like, do you think it's right? Like, not real footage. I mean, like, do you think that it's photoshopped?
I mean,
Can you play
it's
it
a
again?
little jumpy. Yeah, play it again.
Oh my
Exactly,
god, I'm
Brent.
so glad I'm recording this. Oh, no chance. Let me show you some real speed. Oh my god, that's like an F-35. Oh, it's almost catching up.
What do you guys think?
I'm not
Corey
sure.
says
I'd
fake.
have to watch it like on my phone myself so that there's no jumps. But I don't know. And you know what sucks about doing like these types of lives is that it feels like 99% of what you present, it's like nope, which becomes disheartening. But like, let me be clear, that's the best part about it though, is that when you find something that is legit, like just because majority of things tend to not be legit doesn't mean that this is, like it's out there, and you have to just sift through all of it. That's why I like listening to testimonies. I like listening to the testimonies of people who have held a high power of position and have spoken out in great detail about what they experienced.
Let me see. These are not really. I want to let you get to
Elon!
yours because a lot of these are not.
I love Elon Musk.
I don't remember what this was. Oh yeah, this is interesting. Hold on. There's something on this truck. I'm going to let it play again. The interesting thing about this video to me is the escorts by police and stuff. And they're escorting something and they're at Area 51.
Yeah, Area 51 now, there's nothing crazy there. They just use it as a place to test their things. So test their crafts.
I wonder what that is.
Weapons, whatever it is. Yeah, that very well could be partial of a craft.
Yeah, or maybe do you think that they're trying to make them like the aliens do? You know what I mean? Like recreate
Yeah, they
them,
try to
basically.
replicate them. Yeah, absolutely. Not only do they reverse engineer them, then they try to replicate them. So a lot of times when I say you see these things in the sky, a lot of times, more often than not, it's our own, but it's based off of alien technology. But yeah, our government absolutely is replicating them.
Okay, and here, this will be the last one I'll show you. This is a guy who used to, back in the day, was in Area 51 and stuff. It says that he's like he gets pissed and like walks away during the interview and stuff. It's 3 minutes long, but is that okay? You think?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
What is your occupation at Area 51?
I won't answer that. I have had reason to be present at Area 51, but I'm not going to clarify whether or not I was there as an employee.
Are you saying you were there as a visitor?
I'm not going to specify why or in what capacity I was there, only that I was there.
Can you tell us how many times you were there?
When I agreed to this, my fundamental ground rule was that I would not be asked to divulge personal data that might help pinpoint my identity. If you continue to ask questions that are out of bounds, I won't hesitate to terminate this interview.
Are you saying that the number of times you were present at Area 51 is enough to pinpoint your identity?
Any specifics will narrow the field of suspects. Of course, I could lie. Let's say I've been there 47 times, or anyway more than once.
Let's turn to the tape itself. The copy you've supplied is not the original tape.
No.
Was the original at Area 51 when you copied it?
That's out of bounds.
Is it fair to assume that the copying of tapes at Area 51 is heavily restricted?
You can assume anything you like. I would say that's a fair assumption. That's obvious. I will say that this tape was copied under special circumstances. Otherwise, copying it would have been impossible.
Can you be more specific?
More specific? Okay, I'm sure they've figured this much out already. Recently, there was a wholesale transfer of video documentation from analog tape to digital disk storage. In a couple of instances, this allowed data to leak from a highest security system to a less high security system. Even so, this particular tape was the only... I think that's about all I'll say about that.
Was there something about this particular clip that made it more accessible to be copied?
Not necessarily, no.
Was there something about the content that caused them to file it differently or give it special handling?
This interview was terminated.
The interview resumed only after a discussion of the ground rules.
Have you personally seen the alien being that appears in the tape?
Yes, I have. But I stress I was not necessarily present at the interview session that appears on the tape. I'm not going to be specific. I may have encountered the being at another time.
What can you tell us about the alien interview we're about to see?
This one is rather recent, very late in the series. The interview process has been ongoing since the being arrived, which was in 1989. Approximately twice a month, they sit it down for a session that generally lasts from 3 to 5 hours. If they try to go longer than that, or if they schedule the sessions more frequently, the being becomes unresponsive. There's a fair amount of infighting among the scientists from different disciplines to get their questions asked.
What is the alien revealed?
Various minor technical details of the saucers. The physicists and engineers are frankly frustrated. They feel the being is withholding information. Possibly concepts are getting lost because all the information has to come through a telepath. But also it may be that the bulk of their scientific knowledge is just too advanced to be translated into our primitive conceptual framework. It's analogous to if a human scientist were to try to translate quantum mechanics into the grunts and screeches of a chimpanzee.
That's not a very flattering comparison.
Frankly, there's a high attrition rate for scientists in the program. You'd think they'd be energized by the challenge. But a lot of them take the ego deflation very hard when they find out not only how much they don't know, but how much they aren't even capable of understanding.
What else has the alien communicated?
Oddly enough, the being seems to have a much easier time communicating spiritual concepts.
What is your occupation at Area 51? What video are they talking about?
I don't know. I don't know if it's on the channel. That's what I was wondering too. I want to see the tape. Let's see.
That's another one where the interviewer doesn't sound too professional to me. But I've seen a lot of interviews like this that people put their face on the camera and even their position. And I believe it. I just don't know. I'd have to know what tape they're referring to with this one.
I know, but isn't it interesting? He's like, he says they communicate through a telepath. They've been doing interviews with this being, but it won't
Since
really
80.
tell him much.
Yep. Absolutely.
Black holes and their mystery. Well, that's all I have besides the ones I skipped over, so we can go to yours. They have a lot of videos you'd probably like. Look, the moon landing discoveries, black holes, NASA director on UFO sightings. When was this?
Neil deGrasse
Are there other
Tyson.
planets elsewhere that there is life? Now, I know what you've seen is what those Navy pilots saw in 2004, and there have been some 300 sightings since then. And I've talked to those pilots, and they know they saw something, and their radars locked onto it. And then all of a sudden it was here on the surface, and then it's there.
They're talking about the TikTok
and they don't know what
video.
it is, and we don't know what it is.
Okay, the
We
one that
hope
you
it's
talked
not an
about last
adversary
time,
here
right?
on Earth that has that kind of technology.
Okay.
But it's something.
Then they have.
And so this is a mission.
Let me see. Just there's the what went on in Area 51. Is that what it was we were just watching?
And your wife started
Oh.
thinking that you were having.
Rogan.
No, this is Bob
This is Bob
Lazar
Lazar's
and Joe
interview.
Rogan.
Yeah. Such a great interview. Go
Ew.
watch it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
And now I
Joe
want to
Rogan and Bob Lazar, man. Of
watch
course
it.
it's good.
Explosive. Yeah, no, it sounds like it would be good. Okay. Oh, there's the man that leaked the alien footage. Oh, wait. The leaked alien interview video. The alien that made demands. The leak. Is this the one?
It's a remarkable piece of footage. If it's a hoax, it's very well done. If it's not, then I would say it's probably revolutionary.
It's a fake, in my opinion. If you continue to ask questions that are out of bounds, I won't hesitate to terminate this interview.
This is powerful because this is not a staged event. This is real.
Where's the damn interview?
Clickbait.
That's messed up. Wait, that was this. He was warned. Nope, that's not it. There's a lot of alien stuff, but the next video on it is just that. Lazar explains working on UFOs for the government.
Yeah.
The alien that made demands. It has a lot of views. Let's see what this is. Oh. Is this a movie? Look, Dark Skies,
Definitely
the
looks like a
Declassified.
movie. Definitely looks like a movie.
Yeah, it looks like a movie to me too. Yep. Okay. Well, anyways, you should pull up the kid with the
Yeah, I'll pull that up.
Mars.
It's a long interview, but we could just jump through like a couple of pieces. I'm telling you guys, watch this full interview. It's this boy from Russia. So the biggest issue you guys are gonna have is that there's a translation at the bottom. But I urge you guys, it's like less than an hour, but this is how you know he's legit, in my opinion, is that he speaks effortlessly. He does not have to think before giving his answers. He's also having to speak in a different language, so it's even harder for him to communicate the things that he's trying to communicate. And then even towards the end, he's playing his video games while they're asking him questions, and he's just spitting it out, meaning that this is not with lies. Usually your brain has to stop, think, process, and then say the lie, meaning he's not even taking the time to create this stuff in his head. He's pulling it from memory. And so this little boy says that he was an alien being from Mars. He explained what happened to Mars, because if you guys know anything about Mars, Mars used to be an Earth-like planet. It had running water, it had an atmosphere, it had green trees, it had living life on it. So he explains what happened to Mars and how there are still current beings on Mars. They just live underneath the surface because now that the atmosphere is destroyed, they can't live above the surface, but there's only a few of them left. But he's able to communicate and be in contact with them telepathically and through astral projection and travel and things like that. Watch the entire interview. It is so fascinating. But okay, you could share my screen if you want.
Okay, awesome. Let me add it.
All right, so I'm gonna jump through and just try to find a couple of interesting parts.
Okay. Ooh, this is exciting.
So
now I want
we're
to watch.
just going to talk now. Just
two interviews.
If you want to say, or if you want to draw a picture to explain to us about your story, then it's okay. Okay.
Мы сейчас хотели бы задать тебе вопросы, и если тебе по ходу ответов на вопросы захочется что-нибудь нарисовать, чтобы объяснить или как-то показать, в принципе, как угодно можешь что-нибудь показать.
Okay, and meanwhile, honey, I need you to help me with this because I just want.
Волгоградская область. It's in the Volgograd area.
Okay.
Город Жирновск. And the name of the city is Жирновск.
Okay. And do you understand why you're living there?
Ты понимаешь, почему ты там живешь?
No, not really. It's okay.
Если не понимаешь, тоже ничего. Да нет. Мне просто Москва больше нравится. I like more Moscow, actually.
Oh, I like Moscow too. Have you been to the Kremlin?
Ты был в Кремле?
Ah,
the pyramids.
Когда вернулся,
Someday.
он меня сразу спросил, а что в поезде случилось? Я говорю, вот так и так. Чуть не
And
подрался.
he was alone. And then he came home.
I'm trying to find the part that it
Asked immediately,
starts.
what happened in the plane? He like felt it, and then he explained.
Hey, I got a question. Like,
yes,
when this was uploaded, was it at a time like because you know how sometimes you have the translation on the side, and maybe you can use that if it's there to find what you're looking for, but it's probably old, so it might not be there.
Yeah, this is Boriska. He's the Indigo Boy from Mars. I'm not sure when it came out though, but it's older. But once it starts going, it goes. If you guys just type in Boriska Indigo, the boy from Mars, right on YouTube, this whole thing will come up. I'm telling you, it's an interview that you do have to sit down because I told you it's so long because of the translation. But once he starts to go, it is so fascinating what he says.
Okay, Lori says, "What's the year?" Do you know?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'd have to look it up.
Okay. Thank you.
My grandma has one copy of this newspaper, so if you need, we can.
Okay,
but
very
it's not
nice.
here.
Yes, we also have it on the internet. This is how we heard about you.
А мы на самом деле уже нашли эту газету через интернет. Рассказывают они и так, а тебе узнали вообще.
You are a little bit famous in America.
И ты стал известен в Америке.
I come from California.
Я приехала из Калифорнии, рассказываю.
And Bill comes from England.
Билл уже 11. I started to tell stories at 6-7. He says it was quite some time ago.
Yes. And are you remembering your stories as well now?
А сейчас ты помнишь так же хорошо, как раньше, или уже немножко забыл? Ну, я забыл, конечно. No, I already forgot some parts of them.
Okay. But when you remember, do you remember being on Mars?
А когда ты вспоминаешь как ты был на Марсе? Yeah.
Yes. And why did you start talking about Mars? Do you know?
Ты знаешь, вообще, почему ты вдруг начал рассказывать о Марсе? Я вспомнил. I just recalled about that.
I see. And did you recall about other planets or just Mars?
А ты о других планетах тоже вспоминала или только о Марсе вспоминала? Ну, да. Что, да, о Марсе или о других? Ну, вообще-то и о других, и о Марсе. About other planets as well.
Oh, really? What other planets? Do you remember their names?
А ты можешь вспомнить о других планетах? Какие там были названия? Названия я не помню. I can't say about the names. Ну, детали просто очень много галактик освоили. Даже не галактик. systems. The people from Mars traveled along many galaxies and planet systems, so visited quite some of them.
Okay. And did you have friends that you remember?
У тебя были какие-то друзья на этих планетах или на Марсе? Ты можешь вспоминать кого-то? В основном друзья были на Марсе, но и на других планетах тоже. I had some friends on Mars for sure, and on some other planets as well.
And do you think they have come here in human bodies?
Как ты думаешь, они тоже как бы вот здесь на
Like
Земле
you?
оказались, как и ты, вот в человеческих телах попозже? Возможно. It could be.
It could be. Have you met anyone else that you remember from your past?
А ты кого-нибудь встречал вот,
In this life?
чтобы даже раньше с ним встречался в прошлых жизнях, а потом сейчас в этой жизни его встретил? Не, ну встречался в прошлой жизни, да, но в этой жизни я пока еще никого не встречал. Not in this lifetime.
Ah, okay. Do you think that you are different than other children in some ways?
Как ты думаешь, ты отличаешься от других
I'm gonna
детей?
jump and try to find the part where he explains what happened to Mars.
Ну да.
Okay.
I think so.
Oh, she can. She's very smart. Could she come and join us and sit down? That would be wonderful.
И, в общем-то, на данном этапе еще мы достаточно... То есть мы как бы находимся в школе, не каждый день учимся в школе, а школа называется как бы... То есть это семейное образование или экстернат. То есть практически мы все изучаем в квартире у себя дома. Вот, и сдаем экзамен. То есть месяц, в течение месяца изучаем какой-то предмет и сдаем экзамен.
So, first of all, we had lots of books
Ускоренное развитие.
In our family.
Okay.
Books for astronomy, astrophysics.
Думаю, что это где-то было 4-5 лет.
4-5
Какие-то
years
элементы
old.
разговора о том, что он...
This is his
где-то
mom.
7-8
This is his
лет,
mom
6-7 лет
who just
четко
came in.
пришла уже
And
информация.
6-7 was much more.
I see. And does he has a father who is with him? Do you know about Mars? Is Mars do you know about Mars right now? Are you able to see what is going on there?
Ты мог бы рассказать о Марсе? Что ты вообще не знаешь вот сейчас? Может быть, ты можешь сказать, что сейчас на Марсе происходит? Сейчас на Марсе ничего не происходит. Now nothing happens on Mars.
Oh, really? And what happened in the past was what happened to you in the past in Mars?
Тебе надо рассказать, что это баг. Рассказывай все, что знаешь.
Please tell them. Don't feel shy.
Рассказывай все, что знаешь вообще.
Don't worry.
Все свои иллюзии. Вообще все замечательно.
Don't feel.
Yes,
He's
it's
young
not,
and
we are
shy.
not
He's a
a
baby.
big deal. We are not a big television show. We are just like you. We are just regular people, and we are just coming from California to see you and talk with you. It's okay. Anything you want to say, okay?
Тебе хотят рассказать, что, в принципе, мы не какой-то там земли, в Калифорнии, поэтому ты, пожалуйста, расскажи. Не волнуйся,
То есть это
ладно?
будет верстаться, фильм будет.
Я понял.
Из кусочков составлен.
Он никуда не пойдет на телевидении.
This is not on television yet. No. So on internet.
Просто расскажи все.
It was some millions years ago, what you told me, you know.
Okay, tell us about this.
Расскажи, правда, очень интересно. Ну, с чего начать? How should I start then?
Start with when you were living on Mars. What did you do? What did you do there?
Вот когда ты жил на Марсе, что ты там делал, например? А что марсиане могут делать? Только воевать. What Mars people could do? Just make wars.
Make wars. Ah, were you a soldier?
Поэтому ты тоже был как бы военным? Вы же пилотом. I was kind of pilot.
Pilot. Okay. Did you fly a ship?
А у тебя здесь был свой корабль? Не обязательно. Not really. Как?
How were you a pilot?
А когда, ну, то есть пилотом чего ты тогда был? Космического корабля. I was a pilot of a spaceship.
I see. And can you draw the spaceship that you were a pilot of? Are you able to do that?
А ты мог бы нарисовать корабль? Как он выглядит? No.
Can you tell us about it? Was this a saucer, flying saucer, or no? or round saucer?
Хотя бы приблизительно,
UFO?
как это вот форма этого корабля, он был такой вытянутый, или как тарелка. Нет, ну не как тарелка, мы все такие формы не используем. Not like a saucer, for sure.
Okay.
Because Mars people do not use such forms.
I see. Okay, what do they use?
А какого плана? Ну, были корабли типа самолетов, ну, похож чем-то. Ну, вообще треугольные. Были типа... Даже не знаю как капли. Вот. Вид капли, да? Ага. Только вот... Ну ладно. Там, короче, форма немножко... Не самой капли, вот капли, а немножко там изменена была, чтобы...
Передвигаться в пространстве, знаешь, использовать какие-то...
There were 3 types. One more like normal flight planes we have, yeah?
Yes.
One type, second triangle, and more was kind of like drop, you know?
Like a teardrop.
Yeah, like
I
a drop,
see.
but a little bit changed so it could move, you
Okay.
know?
Did you use energy?
Вы использовали энергию какую-то специальную? Плазменные батареи, ионовые батареи. Ion, plasmatic batteries. Ну, батареи, а если именно как бензобак использовали, то это топливо кончалось быстро. Моторы были слишком мощные для таких бензобаков. Normal gas, like you use from stations, couldn't be used really much because the engines were very, very powerful and the gas would run very quick, so it wasn't very big deal to use it.
I see.
Well, they don't use
what about,
fossil fuels.
Did you use force, circular force?
Такую вращающуюся силу, круговую силу использовали.
Or magnetics?
Или
Understand?
Магнитную силу. Магнитную нет, а вращающуюся. Тут моторы. Ну, не сам мотор, именно вот эти турбины, они вращались. И там плазма вот эта, она как-то загоралась, я не изучала характеристики. И происходило ускорение. К сожалению, такой мотор не могут дать вылет за в соседнюю солнечную систему или вообще в другую галактику. So they didn't use magnetic, but this turbo, in our systems, they used a lot with some kind of plasma connection, you know, and it gave some quick speed, you know, really.
Propulsion.
Yeah, but still, this kind of engines couldn't be used for long flights. Only for short flights, you couldn't fly with this engine to another system.
I see. Did you use time travel? You know time travel?
А вы путешествовали во времени? Портал, в смысле? Который вам сказал? Time portals, you mean? Ну, портал — это то же самое телепорт, только он ускоряет время. Он нет, даже замедляет, не ускоряет, не близко. Замедляет. И открывает такой тип портала. В этом портале время резко ускоряется для... Короче, не могу сказать, я не помню точно принцип. Ну, короче, открылся с одной стороны, и через несколько секунд, или даже минут, если далекий переход, открывается в другой области пространства. So there were 2 types of portals. Was portals for moving through systems and moving through time.
Okay.
So those moving through time were constructed in some special way. He doesn't remember all the details, but they played with time, made it quicker or slower. So you come in on one end in a couple of seconds or sometimes minutes when it was a long difference. You go out and you have different time.
See, you jump out.
And did you go
jump.
forward and
Wow.
backward in time, or did you go to other places?
Oh, wow.
There's actually, you can be comfortable because you see we are here and you can describe what the races looked like.
Ну, каждый раз было... Ну, каждый раз имел свои там новинки, всякие технологии. Например, если у нас были плазменные ионы, и двигатели. У других, например, были энергетические какие-нибудь. То это еще не значит, что если, значит, если, например, на Марсе были разные расы, раз стал. Ну, правда, не все корабли были разные.
So it was kind of different technologies, the question of different technologies and innovations. For example, they had ion type of agents, and the others had different types of agents, and they started to make wars against each other. There was some time they started, as far as I understood. From some time they started to make wars and became more individual, like stopped communicating much and exchanging technologies between each other.
I see, but what did the people look like? Did they look like us?
Как там выглядели люди? Ну, или те существа, которые там жили, как мы?
Ну, не совсем как люди.
Not really like people.
Not really like people.
Ну, были похожи.
Quite like, but not fully the same, you know?
How were they different?
А что у них отличалось?
Ну, они были больше, выше,
They were
сильнее.
higher, stronger, more able.
I see. Barishka.
Here, I'll stop it there. But the full interview is really, really, really interesting to check out.
Wow,
And
that's
then
crazy.
it's one that's like I would suggest sitting down and watching. But then here, so I have a couple of short TikToks.
Okay.
And
That makes
then,
me want to watch those kids that are reincarnated now.
yeah, the reincarnation, like I'll save all that for like the spiritual life, but there are kids who like even with 9/11 specifically, there's a child who completely recalls being one of the jumpers from 9/11, and they even were able to track down the exact person based on what this child was saying, who he identified as, and they even contacted that person's family. The family met this little child and said, that is our loved one. Like that absolutely 100% is our loved one. That mullet though.
Oh my God. You got to bring that
yeah,
to the spiritual love.
Okay. Oh yeah. So this is Bill Cooper, and he's sharing his UFO experience and sightings while he was in the Navy.
Okay.
And I saw the most incredible thing that I think I've ever seen in my life. And it had such a profound effect upon my view of the universe and the world that we live in that I wish everybody could experience this. I saw come up out of the ocean from beneath the surface of the sea a huge disc-shaped craft about the size of a Midway-class aircraft carrier, which is tremendous in size. Even though that's one of our smallest carriers there was then, it's still a huge, tremendously big object. Came up out of the ocean and rose into the air and tumbled on its axis and went up into the clouds, and I was awestruck, dumbstruck. And I mean dumbstruck, literally, I could not utter a sound. Port bow at a relative distance of about 2.5 nautical miles. And he began to look in that area. And the starboard lookout had heard me tell him this, and he began to look over there. And while we were all three watching, either the same craft or another one exactly like it came down out of the clouds, tumbled again on its, why it did this maneuver, I don't know, but every single time it did it. It's like it came down in this attitude, and then it flipped over and then entered the water. And the water just appeared to open up in front of it. It's just like the account in the Bible about the parting of the Red Sea.
Again, you know, these are people who held high positions, and you know, I'm inclined to believe them.
Interesting.
If you start to like watch multiple people speaking out, and again, just don't take what they say as fact, but if you start to listen for consistencies, that's what I've done. I've listened for consistencies, and there's going to be some things that are always constant. And those are what I'm inclined to believe absolutely is true. And that's why I told you, like, they're doing the way he's describing the crafts just tumbling. What he's saying is that they're doing maneuvers that we couldn't do, right? Like, let's say if we even had a plane or a craft that could go at these speeds, do you think we could have it do somersaults down and all of us be okay? No, right? And if it launched into the water, we would die upon impact. But that's the thing about they're able to manipulate gravity around them. So it's not tumbling really, like they're manipulating the gravity around them. And so they have full control. Hence why the water basically opens instead of just landing and impacting the water. It's the water is moving around and opening up to them. And so they don't abide by our laws of physics. And I don't think people really understand just how amazing that is. Like, we are bound by our laws of physics. Like, has there ever been a time where you threw something up and it didn't come back down, right? It's a law. What goes up comes down. This does not abide by our laws. So it just makes you realize how we don't know anything and there's so much more out there.
It's crazy. It really, really is. It's just, it seems like impossible, but yeah. Okay,
and
let me
this
see.
is it being announced by Sergeant Clifford Stone, how that there is 57 different alien species that we know about.
Wow, 57.
Like what they look like.
I could, but it would probably take a whole lot of time. The reason I state that, when I got out in 1989, we had cataloged 57 different species. You have individuals that look very much like you and myself that could walk among us and you wouldn't even notice the difference, except for some of the things that they might be able to go ahead, even in a dark room, and touch an object and go ahead and identify what color that object might be.
Wow.
So that was just a quick one about, how many, there's so many different extraterrestrial species. Then there's this, sorry, I keep having to stop and then share again. This is about the Roswell crash, the infamous Roswell crash, and how there absolutely were beings that they took from that. You know, the infamous Roswell crash in the 50s.
No, I don't. I mean, I've heard of like Roswell, and I know, but I don't know the story. No.
So
like when you mentioned it earlier, I wanted to hear.
So there's an infamous UFO crash that happened in Roswell, New Mexico, and it even made the front of the newspaper. Okay, and then they came out the next day and said, it was just a weather balloon. And what they showed on the newspaper, these photos were completely staged. It looked like tinfoil. That is not what crashed. They took whatever crashed and then came out to the public and just said, it was a weather balloon, and like staged a photo to pretend that this is what it was. But there has been long talk about, yes, not only did it crash, there were 3 extraterrestrial beings within that craft, and they took it and they did studies on them. And so these are people who are whistleblowers talking about absolutely there were beings inside the Roswell crash.
That the government had looked into the so-called alien abductions and couldn't figure out what it was all about any more than I can. However, week before last, after I wrote Majestic was published in the States, it's dedicated to Major Marcel. I come from a family with lots of Air Force in the background. And a number of Air Force people who have had something to do with this have come forward in the past few weeks, especially this gentleman, Richard Doty, who is was a counterintelligence officer until last year. And he told me in an interview just the early part of last week, for the first time publicly for attribution, he said, yes, it happened, something in Roswell.
Something's always happening. They just don't show us. they don't tell us. And then
Now,
this.
now I want to watch like everything I can on that.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. Before you even let me show you the photo. Roswell.
Hey, Ava. Oh, and fell asleep. Well, at least you got a nap and you got some rest. Oh boy, I'm probably gonna go to sleep as soon as we're done. I crashed early. Yeah. But I don't sleep good ever. I'm usually up and down all night long. Like I'll sleep for a couple hours and then wake up, couple hours, wake up. It sucks.
So a huge craft went down in Roswell. A huge craft. Then they took it away, and then they put these pictures out on the front of the newspaper, and they're like, just kidding, guys, it's a weather balloon. Look at that thing. That is not the UFO that crashed. That is a bunch of tinfoil. But this is what they claimed crashed.
Oh my gosh.
Look, like little pieces of tinfoil. Like it was a weather balloon, guys. It was a weather. No, this craft crashed. It had beings on it. And then they covered it up. And they get away with it every single time.
Now, what did they say about the beings that were on it? Like,
they never acknowledged it. You know, it wasn't until after that the whistleblowers came out and were like, not only did, a craft crash, but there were beings on the craft. And as far as I know, 2 were dead upon impact. 1 was still alive when they took it, but then later died. And they did testing on it. Yes,
oh my God.
Georgia.
That's what I want to hear, like about the testing and stuff. Did the whistleblower talk about that in detail at all, or?
Yeah, I'll find those. There's so many different things that have happened. It's like I don't even know where to start. But if you specifically want Roswell, I'll even send you a link. If this is the nurse, I have it right here. A nurse who saw alien autopsies in Roswell, but it's like 10 minutes long, so I'll just send it to you directly.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let me throw this in here.
Oh wait, am I taking this back on?
Yeah, you can put that back on. So this is high government officials disclosing extraterrestrials. So it kind of circles me back around to Jana, who earlier said, if this was real, wouldn't this be mainstream? Look at all of these high-powered government officials who have come out disclosing extraterrestrials, and ask yourself why you haven't heard about it.
That's crazy. Hey, Steph. And yes, this is just like my channel for everything that's not true crime. Weird stuff and just anything.
And right here, you could see the different type of beings. Reptilian, standard gray. This is more the Anunnaki. Like I told you, look very like humans, blonde. I'm not sure exactly off the top of my head what species this is, but there is so many different species.
Oh my God, that's crazy. The reptilians, that scares me.
They feed off darkness. Reptilians are bad. Have you seen the video I played of the reptilian caught in the Obama conference? His face was shape-shifting. No joke.
No.
I'll send it to you. It's you see, because reptilians are shapeshifters. You see this dude's face and skull morphing in real time.
Oh my God, no. That creeps me the hell out.
High government officials disclosing extraterrestrials. Paul Hellyer.
Paul Hellyer, former Minister of Defense of Canada, and he believes that life forms from space exist and are present on Earth. Why do you say that UFOs are as real as the airplanes flying over our heads?
Because I know that they are. And they've been, as a matter of fact, they've been visiting our planet for thousands of years. And one of the cases that would interest you most, if you give me 2 or 3 minutes to answer, is during the Cold War, 1961, there were about 50 UFOs in formation flying south from Russia to across Europe. and the Supreme Allied Commander was very concerned and about ready to press the panic button when they turned around and went back over the North Pole. So they decided to do an investigation, and they investigated for 3 years, and they decided that with absolute certainty that 4 different species at least, had been visiting this planet for thousands of years. So we have a long history of UFOs, and of course, there's been a lot more activity in the last few decades since we invented the atomic bomb, and they're very concerned about that and the fact that we might use it again. And because the whole cosmos is a unity, and it affects not just us, but other people in the cosmos, they're very much afraid that we might be stupid enough to start using atomic weapons again, and this would be very bad for us and for them as well.
So we messed up when we used the atomic bomb. And again, you see how it's that unity consciousness. It's a unity consciousness. And we're not just affecting ourselves or our own planet. If we destroy our planet, we're going to throw off the entire, it's that ripple effect. The ripple effect. And so these aliens, these beings are here and they monitor us and they do not intervene. But it's been documented that crafts have appeared at our nuclear weapon sites and have shut it all off. Like there was a point where we were powering them up. I don't remember for what reason. And then a high craft presence appeared and our whole system shut down. They will intervene if we try to use atomic bombs or that type of weapon where it's going to be mass destruction. They will intervene. And again, that's why they're mad. They will not trade us more technology because what we have done with it so far is ridiculous. And so here, it's getting late, so I'll play this last one. This is Bigelow, he's a NASA contractor who has put millions of dollars of his own money into his own research, and him even saying he doesn't care what anybody thinks, how crazy anybody thinks about him. There is absolutely an extraterrestrial presence on Earth.
That's all there is to it.
Do you also believe that UFOs have come to Earth?
There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. And I spent millions and millions. I probably spent more as an individual than anybody else in the United States has ever spent on this subject.
It's risky for you to say, in public that you believe in UFOs and aliens.
I don't care.
You don't worry that some people will say that you hear that guy, he sounds like he's crazy.
I don't care.
Why not?
It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to change reality.
What just happened here? A billionaire who was
involved in the space program,
with 3 contracts with NASA. He's been a NASA contractor since 2000, right? He's just had the greatest moment of his life in terms of that work. They put it up on the ISS. And now he's asked a question about his ET interest, which he's had plenty of time to think about. He literally lays it out there, and she didn't expect this answer. Robert Bigelow is a serious man. He knows there's an ET presence. He put millions of dollars into his own research. He's not just somebody that read a few books. He is doing space habitat development, which is applicable whether you have any kind of propulsion. And it's solid research and could be very, very helpful. And he knows full well that if this truth embargo had ended 10 years ago, we probably have hotels around the moon right now.
So, it just goes to, show that they have come out. There are people coming out, and they've been out for a long time explaining that there is an extraterrestrial presence here. It's more widely known in other countries. America is very tight-lipped about it because we like our control. But it's out there. Ask yourself why you haven't heard about it. Just go do the research and go look, and it's all available.
No, not the land of the free.
Not the land of the free.
No.
Yep, the land of the free.
Steph said something that made me think, Steph, you would like Melissa's channel. She said the history of NASA is kind of sus too.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah,
Melissa talked about that some.
It's all Nazis, instead of holding these Nazis accountable for, mass genocide and what they did, we ended up clearing them and hired them onto NASA the same way that Hitler had a Nazi base on Antarctica. He had a Nazi base on Antarctica for a reason. So these Nazis had a lot of intelligence and a lot of knowledge. And so we hired them on to NASA in exchange for their lives.
It's
Go check
crazy.
out, Jana, the Disclosure. So Dr. Stephen Greer, and you could do an entire live about this, just going to disclosure.com. I think that's it. Just type in Dr. Stephen Greer Disclosure. And he has an entire website. And not only does he document all of the beings and crafts and summoning extraterrestrials, communication, he has it all documented. He also then has the whistleblower page where he has video after video after video after video of high-ranking officials, an hour one video, 2 hours another video, fully in detail explaining what their position was and what they experienced. And there is hundreds of hours of different whistleblowers coming out, and you could look them up. You can vet that this is this person who held this power of position, and this is what they did. And they're coming out. A lot of these people are older men, and they feel guilty at this point and have to have that kind of deathbed kind of confession. Some of them do omit their name and have blurred faces because the risk is still high. But a lot of them just want the truth to be known before they pass away. And I would suggest going because it is mind-blowing. It really is. It's out there. They just will not put it on mainstream media news. You're not, even though they're trickling a little bit out here or there, but the amount of information that is out there and available, they will not put on mainstream media.
That's crazy. Now I'd like to look at that website. She said found it. Yeah, send it to me. I'd love that. Okay, well, I want to tell you thank you. Woofy, hello, are you still there? And Melissa, both of you guys, thank you for coming on because this is so fun and so interesting.
I love it.
Like, I do too. I think now I gotta say, I think I'm even more excited for the next one. Like that. And like
It
not
ties-
only the. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Our
it
delay.
ties into one another. It does, like this conversation and the spirituality, reincarnation, what happens after you die, the two kind of really do tie in with one another.
Yes, and I want to go into not only like signs like it, that people our loved ones are still around and all of that, but also the reincarnation, just the different possibilities, the different ways that people believe that, like, what happens when we die. Jehovah's Witnesses believe that when you die, you literally just go to sleep and you're not aware of anything. You're just dead until God, like Jesus, comes back. Eventually, when he comes back, all the dead will rise from their grave. But they believe they just go to sleep. So different religions believe different things. Oh my God, did you know they found within the last day or two, a new they were able to get into a pyramid, into one of the
tombs, like one of the
tombs. Yes, that had never been uncovered ever. Yes, actually, let me show. Hold on, if I still have it.
Yeah,
I had that in our list to look at, and then I'm going to let you go because I am getting really tired. But this was so cool because they're like, this is the first time that it has ever been. Hold on. And there's one more that they think they might be able to get into, but they're like, this may lead to basically more answers about the pyramids.
Yeah, there's so many magical things about the pyramids. So like they're not just tombs, they hold so much more answers, and there are rooms, and chambers that we have never gotten into. It is so intricately built, and so it's just amazing.
One day ago, this was okay. It says breaking news. Okay, let me. Woofy, are you still there?
I was
hey, Angie.
Are you awake?
Yes.
He's so quiet.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
So if you haven't seen already, just this morning, Egyptian archaeologists working within the Great Pyramid have announced and released photos of their discovery of 2 additional sealed-off chambers inside the Great Pyramid on the Giza Plateau. Only one of the chambers has been entered using a small drill and camera, and what you're looking at is a previously unknown chamber that has seen no light and no man has stepped foot in almost 5,000 years. They're going to continue scanning the corridors and looking for avenues to explore the other unexplored chamber above the King's Chamber. Likely, if any discoveries are to be made within these chambers, it will solve the mystery of who truly built the pyramids and when. I'm Luke Caverns. I'll be keeping you guys up to date on the Scan Pyramids project. And if you'd like to learn more about ancient lost civilizations and ancient history, well, please like and follow for more. So if you haven't seen already, just...
That's fascinating.
Isn't that cool?
So cool.
And then to see like in there, like what it looks like just imagine, like, I want to know how they were. I don't know. It's just interesting. If you look, there's a lot of really cool stuff with the pyramids, you know, that makes it a lot more than what we know or think. Like, was this it? No. Yeah, maybe this was the other one I watched earlier that was like about that.
Yep.
First, let's talk about the ancient Egyptians. This is the Orion's Belt, a star constellation. Is it a coincidence that it perfectly lines up with the pyramids of Giza? Now, what's crazy to me is that the speed of light and the altitude of the pyramids are the same number.
Now that's crazy.
Yep.
It's also mind-blowing that the pyramids line up with the motherboard of a modern computer. It's also shocking that ancient cave drawings have depictions of light bulbs. Proof ancient civilizations were far...
And there's so much more. Perfectly aligns up with True North. The pyramids hold their own source of power and like electricity. Like there's so many things. And it just shows you that
that's so cool.
Man didn't make that, at least not our generation of man. It could have been like an advanced human civilization or extraterrestrial species.
What a cool love that would be, like just ancient civilization. Even even if you get into like civilizations that maybe I want to hear you talk about under the earth, that kind of stuff. I'm interested in that. Okay, well, I am getting sleepy. Thank you guys for coming on. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing all your
me again.
information on this.
Yes. I loved
it. It was awesome.
Seriously. It's so much fun. And I really look forward to doing the spiritual live and getting into all of that. It's just such a great conversation. And I love hearing people's feedback and their own stories. So I very much look forward to that.
Me too. I can't wait. And I know that I was talking to somebody about that. I know that I was like telling, like, there's people that have already mentioned coming and telling their stories. But I am getting so tired, Amanda.
It was that watermelon yum yum.
I know it probably was, but I still had so much fun. This was really fun and interesting.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me on, Allie. Thank you, everyone in the chat. I appreciate it, and I look forward to next time.
Bye. Yes, me too. I can't wait. Thank you guys, both of you. And you guys definitely go subscribe to Melissa's channel. Oh shit, I'll put your link in the description when I hang up. But you it's in the description of the last one though, if you guys can't find it right now. Isn't it? Wolfie, you have a wrench. Can you put it in the chat? Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right. All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow. And thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. Don't let the aliens abduct you.